Good morning, my fellow Michiganders. Good morning, my fellow Americans. Welcome to the Grassroots Army Podcast. I am, of course, your host, Garrett Sodano, and I am excited about today's live. Why? Because I broke my 88-hour fast, which if you guys are following me, you saw me do that on my live yesterday at noon, and then with bone broth. And then I decided to eat a small meal last night of homemade chicken pot pie that my better three quarters, my beautiful wife, made for all of us, a small portion. And that's how I ended my fast. 4 days. It was one heck of a great journey. I'm really excited to share with you not only the results of that journey, but also what I plan on doing over January and February. And before I get into what I'm trying to build right now as a program for all of you, I think it's important for all of you to understand my intent with this is to empower you with information, to take back your health and not be a slave to big pharma. That's kind of like my theme that I'm going to be running with over the next several months, but to basically prevent what happened back in 2020. Because in the beginning, when I stood up as a chiropractor, as a healthcare professional, someone who was just an ordinary person that believed in this little piece of paper called the Constitution. I believed in this idea called America. I didn't ask for the movement that was created by me posting that video and starting that Facebook group, Michiganders Against Excessive Quarantine. Didn't ask for any of that. Didn't ask to be involved in politics. Quite frankly, I've told you all from the very beginning, I was never a politician. I will never be a politician. Don't want anything to do with politics. But for some reason in the future, if a window will open up or door opens up, I'll look at things. But right now, folks, let me tell you again, I have no interest. I love doing this. I love empowering people, being better versions of themselves. I've been fighting big pharma for over 20 years now as a chiropractor, and I will continue on that fight because bottom line, when you analyze what happened, it was a huge, and this is decades in the making, by the way, it was a huge brainwashing event. Okay. And here's why. I read somewhere, 15, 20 years ago that, and this is when we had magazines, this is before iPhones, right? That we would have 100,000 hours of education before the age of 18 on why you needed to take medication. 100,000 hours of programming ever since you were little, born. Even when you were in the womb, you heard the commercials that your mom was watching, right? So this brainwashing event happened over decades on why you need to take this, why you need to take that. Focus on your symptoms, not overall health and well-being, but symptoms. If you have a symptom, take this. If you have a symptom, take that. If you take a medication that causes a symptom or a side effect, as they say, then you need to take more medication to cover up that side effect, which will lead to more. As a doctor, being in practice for almost 20 years, I have seen what happens when people are on a variety of medication. I mean, I would have elderly folks come in with 8 or 9 different bottles, and we would go through them. And they would say, well, this is for my acid reflux, and this is for my pain, and this is for the side effects for the acid reflux, and this is for the side effects of the painkillers, and this is for the side effects of the side effects of the side effect. It just kept going on and on. And so you have this person who is dependent on big pharma. All right. Now, let me say this again. I'm not anti-medicine. Medicine has a time and place, just like chiropractic, my profession. It has a time and a place. But I'm against the overuse of medication, all right? Especially when you can do the things at home and things in your life to turn you into what I like to say, a bright light bulb, right? Everybody deserves to be 120 watts of pure power. However, as we go throughout life, we start to get dimmer, all right? And that's a whole different video that we're going to do. But I wanted to talk to you about the brainwashing event that happened because I went down a different path than most Americans at the time. I was really into natural health. I was into taking care of your body, exercising, supplementation when needed, eating as much organic as possible, trying to stay away from the chemicals, trying to stay from the medications, just trying to really turn my body into an environment of greatness because I firmly believe that your body's very powerful. It is. You just have to quit screwing it up, all right, by what you're putting in, what you're thinking, and so forth. And movement is huge. So when the pandemic happened, and I used to do a podcast called Change Your Best, I was talking about this new virus that was coming out of China. And I would start to see everybody in my neighborhood just start to freak out about it, and family and friends, because they were just getting brainwashed nonstop of the fear of this virus. And that's something I'm like, hey, it's just like any other virus. If this thing does have teeth, then holy cow, you have to do everything you can right now to start building your immune system. Hey, if you're fat and unhealthy, or if you're diseased, you better start supplementation. You better start exercise. You better start doing the things to empower your body, to strengthen your body. So if you ever come in contact with a bacterial virus, then you're going to be strong enough to not die. That's everything, right? So at that time, I started putting out like, hey, you better start changing your health. Start focusing on what matters most. And when all the lockdowns start to happen, that's when I was like, hey, something's going on here. And then, as like many of you who followed me, we start seeing the writing on the walls, like the hospitals were empty and everything else. We don't have to go down that story because we're all familiar with it because we lived it. However, at that time, I decided to start that group, not because I wanted to get involved with politics. I probably wouldn't have started the group if I would have known what it would have evolved into. But no, there's no regrets. But no, I started it because I was upset as a healthcare professional because no one was standing up. There was no medical doctors. There weren't chiropractors. Not a lot of them that I saw that was really leading the charge with this. And so I just decided to do that because I believed, and I wasn't sucked into the nonstop brainwashing that most of society was. And there were a few of us, 400,000 of us or so, that didn't buy into this garbage, that were saying, hey, this is off. There's a better way to deal with it, yada, yada, yada. But what about the other, tens of millions of people? What about them? Why didn't they start to realize? Well, it's called brainwashing. They were feared into this. And fear is false evidence appearing real. It doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. But fear is a great tool for people who want to control you. And that's in essence what they did. And we could see how it evolved, and evolved from not only, hey, we have to lock down. Now we have to mask up for eternity. Now we have to, oh my gosh, take this procedure, the V word, right? Not going to say it, for the rest of your life, and get more and more every year because of this virus. I think there's a better way. All right. So that's what I want to talk to you all about today. Is it was a brainwashing event. So people are like, well, Garrett, I want you to talk about politics. I want you to talk about Governor Whitmer and Biden. That's a branch of the grassroots army. See, as a chiropractor, and the reason people are like, why do you call yourself a chiropractor? Well, I'm different than most chiropractors. Chiropractors, the majority of my profession is pain doctors. That's fine. They can be pain doctors. I like to be more a philosophical doctor. That's why I pride myself on being a chiropractor. I'm old school and I'm proud of that. Okay. So as a chiropractor, we believe in some things called your body. So my job is to figure out when a patient comes into me, not because they have a specific pain or an ache or some other malfunction in their body, but why that symptom or malfunction is happening. Because if you keep asking why, you'll get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is not necessarily the organ malfunction, or it's not necessarily where your pain is. You have to analyze your entire system. And that includes not only what you're putting in your body, but also what you're doing to your body, the wear and tear, etc. I'm not going to go into chiropractic philosophy today. However, I wanted to get to the point is I want to figure out the why. Anyone that comes to my clinic, I'm always trying to figure out their why. Why is that check engine light on? We don't unplug the check engine light. I feel in the medical profession, that's what they do. There's a time and place for medicine again. However, I think they're really quick to just medicate things to cover up a symptom. To me, that's like unplugging the check engine light. Or if an organ malfunctions, they just rip it out. And I like to say, well, wait a minute, that organ is the same age of all the other organs. Why did that one organ just not malfunction? Usually there's an underlying problem on why. Now, there are times and places, don't get me wrong, that you have to get an organ removed. Your appendix is about going to burst. You better get it removed, right? But if you can catch it beforehand and do the necessary things before those things take place, then you're getting the definition of true health, which according to Webster's dictionary, I think it's a condition of wholeness in which all the organs, not some of them, all of them are functioning 100% all the time. So if you only have 80% of your organs because you've gotten your gallbladder, your appendix, your tonsils, and your adenoids ripped out by the medical profession, then you better make sure that rest of that 80% functions as best it possibly can, because we don't want to lose any more, because that will lead you down to a path of being unhealthy. All right. So to get to the point on why is that question so important? Why? Well, when the pandemic happened and it evolved into all the other garbage that has happened in our country, I was asking, why could people just blindly fall for this? Why would people just blindly hand over their constitutional rights, sacred values, right? Citizens' rights or constitutional freedoms, excuse me. Why would they just do that? And it bothered me. And it continued to bother me as I saw people just not make any sense. Even the so-called health professionals, right? Medical doctor, Dr. Caldoun, I think she was head of the Michigan, I think Department of Health and Human Services. I forget, but she was like the lead doctor in Michigan, and she would go on and tell people, like, when to mask up. You guys remember this? Keep your distance, and then pull down your mask, then put it back up, then pull down your mask and put it back up when you eat and drink, and that was okay, right? And then the funny part is all the other states were fully open: Indiana, Ohio, Wisconsin, and they were doing great. They're actually doing better. I still have the numbers. In Michigan was fully locked down, and our cases were through the roof, deaths, blah, blah, blah. I guess COVID just hated us more, right? So all this data and research start coming out, but it went to the end, or to the beginning, on why this happened. It was a brainwashing event. That's exactly what it is. There are hundreds of millions of Americans who are brainwashed, who've been brainwashed ever since birth on why you need to follow and do these certain types of procedures and medications, because it's all advertising. It's brainwashing 101. It's a conditioning event. If you tell a lie long enough, people start to believe what? That it's true. And what happens is, this is the evolution, is in the beginning, you don't know what you don't know. You don't. Until you decide to start looking into things and do the own research and start to educate yourself, not listen to what you hear on social media or TV or corporate media or your friends and your family. Actually start going in and analyzing things and thinking logically. That's when you'll evolve from not knowing what you don't know to knowing that you don't know. And at that point in time, that's where change takes place. When you're like, you know what? Something doesn't make sense. I know I was told this and I believe this, but now with all this research and stuff coming out, it just doesn't make sense. That's where change can happen. And if you continue to research and continue to fuel your mind, the truth will start to come out. And then you'll do what? You'll evolve into what you know. See, I was at that point, like a lot of you who follow me, in the very beginning of the pandemic. I knew what I knew at that time. I've already done decades of research and knowing the body, and being a chiropractor, I knew how the body functions and how magical the immune system. I knew all that. So I already was starting way ahead of the game. And so when this all went down, I was like, what the hell's going on? What's wrong with you people? All you need to do is supplement vitamin C, vitamin D, make sure you're getting whole food, get your fruits and vegetables, all this stuff, flood your body full of phytonutrients and antioxidants to fight against free radicals. Because if you let free radicals run rampant, they're going to create oxidative stress, which creates inflammation, which is going to stress out your immune system, which is going to make you more susceptible to any viruses and bacteria. The reason I can say all that is because I know what I know. And I've done the research and I understand the science. I understand how your body works. And so that's what you got from me in the beginning, was a very solidified belief system in this beautiful thing called the immune system in our body. All right. So that was the passion that you felt, because I knew it. I owned it. And when they start making mistakes and they're locking us down and they're mandating things, I'm like, no. The science doesn't say that. Remember all the mass studies that we would try to post and they would get censored and fact checked? This was the own medical folks' own studies on masks are garbage. But they covered it all and censored it all. And then they would deplatform you. And they ran with this narrative to what? To continue to fear at 100%, to get people to follow through, because they wanted ultimate control, because they were trying to bring down a sitting president, because they wanted to destroy the economy. That's what happened. And if your head's still in the sand, shame on you, because that's exactly what happened. All right. They did it to bring down a sitting president. That's a whole different story with me. That's called tyranny. I still believe a lot of these folks should be held accountable, but I don't know if that will ever happen. That's why I pray that we get our country back in 2024. Okay. But I wanted to know the why, and the why is brainwashing. So the whole reason why I'm doing these lives, and I'm kind of branching out the grassroots army now into different areas than just politics, right? Is to empower people, because the grassroots army is bigger than just politics and doing petitions and supporting candidates. It's a part of it. Don't get me wrong. We got to get the right people in the office. No doubt about it. However, it's bigger than that, because to really, really focus on the ultimate why, it's to get through the brainwashing and start to input what's truly happening so more and more folks can join and learn. All right. That's the whole point of this. So as we go on this journey together, as we branch out, we're going to start to evolve this into more inspiring, taking back your health. All right. We're still going to call out the garbage. I'm still going to be active in all that, but I'm going to branch out because I want to get to the ultimate why. And that is empowering folks, not to being a slave to big pharma, because I see what's happening. If people like me don't continue to stand up, they're going to start mandating things, and they're going to start bringing down the hammer. And I'm not on my watch. And as a healthcare professional, as a chiropractor, I am not going to allow that to happen. So I'm going to do everything that I can to prevent that. And that is empowering folks so they know what they know. So if it comes around again, they make the better decision and we don't get back in this mess. Okay. So that's why we're talking about programming. And that's why I want to talk to you all about what we're going to do in the next couple months. Is I'm going to put together a program. Now, look, this program is not going to be for everyone. It's just for anyone that wants to start the process of taking back their health. All right. There's going to be many different things that we do. There's going to be information about exercising and nutrition and fasting. And it's just an introduction to what I'm trying to do. You're going to have to do all the work. I'm not doing all the work. If you want to join this little 30-day challenge that I'm creating right now, it's going to be free. I'm going to donate my time, and I'm going to do weekly Zoom calls, and we'll probably haven't figured it out yet, but what I'm thinking of is doing weekly Zoom calls, and I'll post the Zooms on here for everyone to watch if you can't make the Zoom, but basically just educate you folks on what you can do to start adding more tools to your tool belt of overall health. And it's going to consist on many things, and it's going to be different for everybody, because guess what? Every body is different based on your biochemistry, where you're at health-wise at the time. Are you obese right now? Are you lean and mean? Are you a crazy CrossFit ultramarathoner that just wants to do the autophagy of things? I mean, there's so many different variations, but I'm not here to be your personal coach. I don't have time to do that. However, I'm going to be on, and I'm going to put on information, and I'm going to rely on all of you to do the necessary research and everything else to figure out your own body on what you need to do. Now, I'm going to be available to answer questions and stuff like that, but I'm not here to be a personal coach. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm here just to give you information and some things to think about. And I challenge you all to question me as we go throughout this journey. If you find something like, Garrett, that's wrong, throw a comment on there. I am a very humble person. If I say something that's not accurate and somebody can teach me, you can always learn something from everyone that you come in contact with. So if there is in fact something on there that, holy cow, Garrett, you're absolutely wrong, this is how it should be. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm going to come on and say, yep, I've made a mistake. This is the right information, because science and research, it does change, but I'm going to do my best to empower you all to take back your health. Okay. So I want to move on to this next thing that I find quite funny. So this is the programming that I was talking about in the earlier part of this show, is the 100,000 hours of education. Now that you're watching and you're starting to probably know that you don't know, right? The people who know or don't know what they don't know are probably not even following me. They're not even on this broadcast. However, you're probably maybe in the middle, like, I don't know if I'm really going to believe everything that Garrett says. So you are probably maybe starting to know that you don't know. This is where change may happen. So I'm going to give you an example. And now, after I give you this example, you're going to watch these commercials differently. So here's what I want the challenge to be, is all of you that want to sign up for this, or you just want to do this for yourself, for your own sanity. When a drug commercial comes on, don't look at your phone. Don't talk to who you're talking to. Watch the drug commercial. And what I want you to notice is they are marketing geniuses. And what they'll do is they're going to show in the beginning somebody suffering of some ailment. I'm struggling with this pain or this malfunction or, rash, right? And you're going to see that. And then they're going to change the music and they're going to say, take this drug, and things are going to start to get better in the commercial. Like they're going to start doing activity. They're going to start walking. They're going to be with their loved ones. If they have a rash, they're wearing sleeveless dresses and look at me, I'm happy, I'm healthy, right? And then what they do, but this is funny because it's true, as they evolve the commercial, it's legal or it's illegal for them not to mention the side effects. So they have to mention the side effects. So when they mention the side effects, they'll say it really quick and they'll put on what the person is enjoying or what they're trying to get over and how great life is on this drug. And we don't care about the side effects. It's like conditioning, brainwashing 101, right? So I challenge you all to watch these drug commercials with a different hat on and analyze what they're trying to do. So I'm going to share with you a drug. I think this drug was like 15 years ago. It was Chantix, and it was to stop smoking. All right. So listen to the side effects of this drug as I play this commercial and everything I just showed you, right? Put that hat on and watch the brainwashing take place. And then think about the people who don't know what I just told you and they get sucked into this thing. All right. So here we go. I'm going to enjoy this.
Herb quit smoking with Chantix and support. Talk to your doctor about Chantix and a support plan that's right for you. Some people have had changes in behavior, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, and suicidal thoughts or actions while taking or after stopping Chantix. If you notice agitation, hostility, depression, or changes in behavior, thinking, or mood that are not typical for you, or if you develop suicidal thoughts or actions, stop taking Chantix and call your doctor right away. Talk to your doctor about any history of depression or other mental health problems, which can get worse while taking Chantix. Some people can have allergic or serious skin reactions to Chantix, some of which can be life-threatening. If you notice swelling of face, mouth, throat, or a rash, stop taking Chantix and see your doctor right away. Tell your doctor which medicines you're taking, as they may work differently when you quit smoking. Chantix dosing may be different if you have kidney problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Patients also reported trouble sleeping and vivid, unusual, or strange dreams. Until you know how Chantix may affect you, use caution when driving or operating machinery. Chantix should not be taken with other quit smoking products.
The urges weren't like they used to be, and that helped me quit.
Talk to your doctor to find out if prescription Chantix is right for you.
That's a real commercial. Now I'm going to replay that because you might have missed some of the side effects. Okay. I challenge you all to, when you watch these commercials, watch what they do. You see how he was reading and he was petting his dog and his wife comes in, right? All happy. That is marketing at its finest. They get you to have that emotional connection of family and love and compassion as they read all the side effects. Why don't they show, you imagine if they start showing images of all the side effects, right? Imagine if they start showing all the side effects, like images. This could happen. This could happen. Nobody in their right mind would ever take that drug because they would have an imprint going, I'm not taking that drug, right? But they don't. So let's watch it just briefly again, because I really want this to hit home with all of you.
Talk to your doctor about Chantix and a support plan that's right for you. Some people have had changes in behavior, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, and suicidal thoughts or actions while taking or after stopping Chantix. If you notice agitation, hostility, depression, or changes in behavior, thinking, or mood that are not typical for you, or if you develop suicidal thoughts or actions, stop taking Chantix and call your doctor right away. Talk to your doctor about any history of depression or other mental health problems, which can get worse while taking Chantix. Some people can have allergic or serious skin reactions to Chantix, some of which can be life-threatening. If you face, mouth, throat, or
certain skin reactions that might be life-threatening, but he's petting his dog, right? So it's funny, but it's not, because that's why the phases of awareness, right, is when you don't know what you don't know, you get sucked right in, you get programmed. That's all a program. They're basically dripping on your brain. It's like sales 101 that they keep repeating and sending it and sending it and sending it. And then people just blindly say, hey, I got a problem with smoking, which obviously smoking is bad. You want to quit. but everything in moderation. However, they get sucked in and then they do it. And then they get on this stuff and they have some kind of mind altering event. I mean, geez, oh Pete's, that the side effects scared me more than smoking, right? Suicidal thoughts, everything else. But then they'll probably get on medication for those feelings, right? Or emotions or symptoms, which will create more side effects. You see where I'm getting? Then pretty soon we have and after years of doing this, we have a very unhealthy person who is brainwashed, who's on a sick, dim light bulb, and the common cold could wipe them out. That sounds familiar, right? Fear everyone into dying, and then they'll fall right in line. Not all of us. Most of them did, unfortunately. So that's where I want this to evolve into, is empowerment, is to give you guys information to start slowly taking back your health. Now, if you're on a lot of these medications, you're going to have to go down that journey with your medical doctor, because you can't just quit this stuff cold turkey. And don't for 1 minute, because I had a troll on yesterday saying, Garrett's telling everyone to stop all medication. Not at all. I'm here. This will be a journey for those people, but it's a journey for all of us to say, hey, maybe there's some things that I can do, because if your medical doctor is not trying to get you off medication, then that's the wrong medical doctor for you. That's truth. A good medical doctor, and they're out there. If they're helping and trying to get you off medication eventually, there's a time and place for it, but they're not continue to flood you with it, then that is the wrong doctor. You need to go to the doctor. Some of these natural medical doctors who are gaining steam, who also didn't buy into a lot of this garbage, like the frontline doctors and stuff in the beginning. So it's going to be a journey. And that's what I want the Grassroots Army, a branch of it, to evolve into, is just empowered folks taking back their health. So when these things happen, when they try to take our constitutional freedoms and so forth, you're going to have the knowledge to stand up and be a little bit stronger. Now, a lot of you, obviously, who follow me did just that, and God bless you, but we need more. Okay. And that's why I want to continue to evolve this thing into more and more folks joining this. So what I'm going to put together is a nice little program, 30-day challenge. And we're going to talk about all kinds of things that you can do at home, and just what you can start to take back as your own health. And it will be a journey and it's a process, but there's going to be some things that we can do that might help you. And folks who out there who are obese, you got to start doing the necessary things to lean up, get lean and mean, because obesity is a cause of a lot of problems right now. And there are some things that you can do. There are programs that you can join, but it's not going to be a weight loss journey. Unfortunately, when you do the things that I just did, you do lose weight. I've lost 10 pounds. And I will continue to lose a little bit more weight, because I got some chubba that I had to work off of over the last 3 years. Because here's what happened to me. I was very, very into health and everything else in my body, but stress called a movement, and then stress called for running for governor. Man, I start hammering the Culver's burgers. I still love my Culver's burgers. Drinking too much. I was just doing unhealthy things, man. I truly was, because I was trying to fill a void, because I was under constant stress. And it took me a while to get away from that and really start to heal my own body from the damage that it took over the last 2-3 years. Okay. And I'm just being honest with you. I mean, everybody's human. I'm sure in hell not perfect, but I started that when I was under all that stress from the very beginning. I just start filling that stress with voids and eating and drinking too much beer and everything else. It just happens. Okay. And we're all guilty of that. So these are things that you can clean up in your life. And I'm a firm believer in moderation. So when you're seeing me doing these fasting things, and I'm doing these things and talking about things, you see me at Culver's enjoying a burger, you'll be like, oh, he's a freaking hypocrite. Not at all. Moderation. I'm not going to tell you to quit drinking, or if you smoke and you enjoy smoking, fine. I don't care. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to empower you and give you advice on some things. If you do decide those things, there are some things that you can do to prepare your body for that night out. Or if you smoke, then you better make sure that you have the right supplementation and flooding your body full of phytonutrients and antioxidants, because if not, smoking and other things like sugar and alcohol causes free radicals. And I'm really going to teach you about what free radicals are and how they will lead to oxidative stress, which causes your immune system malfunction. So it's not rocket science, but it is all science. And it is pretty interesting once you start to know that you can say, you know what? I'm going to freaking dominate Culver's this weekend, or I'm going out for Mexican and I'm going to go taco the whole night, then you can enter into that mindset and do the necessary things before that night out, and then making sure that you follow through and do what's necessary the following day. So that one night out doesn't set you back. But where people get in problems, I'm guilty, is you do it day after day, 2 to 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Then pretty soon you're overweight, you're unhealthy, you're not the person that you know that you are and what you're destined to be. And then you go into some type of depression and anxiety and everything else. That's what we do. We create our own mess. And we can just start cleaning that up with some simple decisions. And that's the whole point after the holidays, because I know everybody's going around and Christmas parties and everything else. We're all human, but to really start to clean up. And I'm not a believer in it's a New Year's resolution. Man, every day is the best day of your life. You can make a change right now. Don't let that wait. You can start making these healthy little changes now. That's what I'm hoping to do with all of you. Some of the stuff that I'll share over the next couple of weeks will get you through the holidays so you're ready in January and February to really take yourself to a next level, because it's going to take discipline. It's not sacrifice. Sacrifice, nope, it's discipline. And just like I said on yesterday's live, discipline is a form of self-love. It truly is. It's for you willing to do what you need to do today to be the person that you're destined to be tomorrow and into the future. And it does take discipline. And it does take that mentality to do those things. And that's what we're going to go into. All right. So have a great day. I wanted to bring into you, but the challenge for you all today is watch a drug commercial. Next time you see it, watch it and then listen, and then tell the person that you're with, hey, did you listen to all those side effects? That's just going to cover up inflammation. But holy cow, they're going to bleed out their butt. They're going to die, possibly, right? Have fun with it, but be aware, all right? Because then you'll evolve into not knowing that you don't know, to knowing that you don't know, to the eventual, hey, you know that you know, and that's when you can take a stand. Okay. So if you want to be a part of that 30-day little journey, and maybe 60 days, I haven't did the program yet. I'm still working on it in my head. Comment, say, hey, Garrett, I'm in. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go back a couple of these lives. I'm going to make a list of all the people who want to be in, and I'm going to reach out and I'm going to inform you, okay, this is what we're doing. Here's the stuff. Here's the Zoom call meeting and so forth. And we'll take it from there. So it's just kind of going to be really kind of easy. All right. Easy and flowing and no stress. Don't stress out about all this stuff. Okay. Have a great day. God bless you. God bless the state of Michigan. Of course, in all ways, God bless these United States.